Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most iconic and exciting parts of One Piece, Luffy's gears. From the explosive power of Gear 2nd to the mind-bending, reality-warping abilities of Gear 5th, Luffy's gears have defined his evolution as a fighter. So grab your snacks, get comfy, and let's break down exactly how each gear works and what makes them so unique. First up, we've got Gear 2nd, Luffy's second form that truly changed the game in One Piece fights. Gear 2nd is all about speed, power, and raw physicality. To activate Gear 2nd, Luffy pumps his blood through his body at an accelerated rate. This process increases the flow of his blood and pumps more oxygen into his muscles, drastically boosting his physical strength and speed. Now, this isn't just about looking cool. When Luffy uses Gear 2nd, his body becomes like a steam engine. You can see steam emanating from his body as he moves, a visual sign of his intense internal pressure. His strength and agility are multiplied to such extreme levels that he can easily outpace enemies, dodge attacks, and land devastating blows. His punches and kicks are faster, heavier, and much more destructive than in his base form. Plus, this gear allows him to move faster than the eye can follow, making him a nightmare for even the strongest of foes. However, Gear 2nd does come with a cost. While the boost is incredible, it strains Luffy's body, shortening the time he can use it before tiring out. But as we'll see later, Luffy doesn't let that stop him. He's always improving. Next up is Gear 3rd, also known as gigantification. In this form, Luffy inflates his bones by blowing air into them, causing them to grow to an enormous size. His arms and legs can grow to proportions that rival giants, making his punches and kicks absolutely devastating. The key to Gear 3rd is that Luffy's attacks become massive, delivering an immense amount of damage in one blow. For example, one of Luffy's signature moves in Gear 3rd is Gomu Gomu no Gigant Pistol, where he inflates his arm and punches his opponent with the force of a giant. This form is all about raw power, giving Luffy the ability to land knockout blows, especially against large and tough opponents. Now here's where it gets interesting. Before the time skip, there was a major drawback to Gear 3rd. After using it, Luffy would temporarily shrink to a very small size, leaving him vulnerable for a short period. But after his training during the 2-year time skip, Luffy completely overcame this issue. Post-time skip, Luffy can now use Gear 3rd without any significant drawbacks. No more shrinking or leaving himself open to attacks. This made Gear 3rd much more effective and reliable in battle. Now let's talk about the game changer, Gear 4th. This is where things get crazy because Gear 4th isn't just about power or speed, it combines both. Luffy's Gear 4th involves inflating his muscles with air and coating his body in a layer of haki. This technique gives him a massive boost in both offensive and defensive capabilities, making him faster, stronger, and more resilient than ever before. Luffy's body becomes larger and more muscular as a result of blowing air directly into his muscles, with a visible sheen of haki covering his skin. This form is much more versatile than Gear 2nd or 3rd because Luffy can move faster while maintaining the strength to land devastating punches. Not only does Gear 4th boost Luffy's strength, but it also gives him an increased ability to tank damage. The haki surrounding his body acts as a protective layer, making it harder for attacks to pierce through. But here's the thing. Gear 4th isn't just one form. Luffy actually has 3 variations of Gear 4th, each designed for different situations. Let's break them down. First, we have Gear 4th Bound Man, the standard and most well-known version of Gear 4th. In this form, Luffy's body becomes highly muscular and inflated, giving him an overwhelming increase in strength and speed. Bound Man is all about raw power, and it enhances Luffy's physical abilities to monstrous levels. He can land massive, high-speed punches that overwhelm enemies, and his resilience is drastically increased thanks to the haki coating his body. This form is effective in both offense and defense, and it's the one Luffy uses most frequently when facing powerful opponents. The balance between speed, power, and durability makes Boundman one of Luffy's most reliable forms. Next up, we've got Gear 4th Tankman, a form that focuses entirely on defense. Unlike Boundman, Tankman is designed to absorb damage rather than dish it out. In this form, Luffy's body becomes even more inflated, creating a massive, almost spherical shape that's difficult for enemies to damage. This form maximizes his durability and can withstand a lot of attacks. Finally, we have Gear 4th Snakeman, which is all about speed, flexibility, and agility. In this form, Luffy's body becomes more elongated, and his movements become incredibly unpredictable. Snakeman focuses on quick, rapid attacks that can bend and twist in ways that make it nearly impossible for enemies to predict. This form is all about outmaneuvering the enemy with speed and flexibility, making Luffy a true fighter in hand-to-hand combat. Snakeman's unpredictability makes it ideal for overwhelming opponents with swift, continuous strikes. Now let's talk about the brand new mind-blowing Gear 5th. Luffy's Gear 5th, revealed during the final stages of his fight with Kaido, represents the full awakening of his Gomu Gomu no Mi powers. In this form, Luffy's rubbery abilities reach an entirely new level. What makes Gear 5th so insane is that it's not just a physical transformation, it's a reality-altering power. Gear 5th allows Luffy to take full control of his rubber body, bending the laws of physics to his will. His body becomes hyper-flexible, elastic, and his attacks become cartoonishly exaggerated, enabling him to stretch and contort in ways that defy normal physics. He can manipulate his environment, turn objects into rubber, and even make his enemies' attacks bounce off him like they're made of rubber too. This is a state where his powers extend beyond just his body. They can affect his surroundings, making them bend to his will. Luffy can transform the world around him into a rubber-like state, manipulating it for both offensive and defensive purposes. In Gear 5th, Luffy's power is virtually limitless. His speed, strength, and endurance are elevated to godlike levels, and the sheer unpredictability of his movements make him nearly impossible to predict or defeat. With Gear 5th, Luffy has become a force of nature, capable of changing the flow of battles entirely. It's a whole new dimension of power, and we're still seeing the full scope of it. And there you have it, folks. Luffy's gears are an essential part of his character evolution. Each one brings something unique to the table, and they've all helped him take down some of the most powerful foes in the One Piece world. Which gear do you think is the most impressive? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more One Piece content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.